Good afternoon, Mr. Shelby. Thank you for being punctual.
I'm told punctuality is the only thing you people value as much as I do.
It's a start. Please, make yourself as comfortable as one can in a room full of questions.
Do you mind?
Technically, the building has rules. But for you, I think we can make an exception. I'd rather you be present than restless.
I'm never restless, Doctor. I'm just occupied.
Occupied. That's an interesting word. Most men in your position would say busy. Occupied sounds like a territory held by an army.
Perhaps it is. Now, you've had your greeting. Are we going to talk about the weather? Or are you going to tell me why I'm wasting a perfectly good afternoon in London?
Well, Thomas, you've been staring at that wall clock since you sat down. Does the ticking bother you?
It reminds me of the delay mechanisms on the mines. A constant sound that promises a violent end.
It's interesting that you use military terms. The war ended years ago, Thomas. Why are you still living in a trench?
I didn't come here for a history lesson. I came because certain political promises required me to see a man with a degree on his wall. Tell me, Doctor, how much do they pay you to try and get inside the head of someone who's seen things that would make your ink run dry?
They pay me to help you understand why you can't sleep without a bottle of whiskey by your bedside.
The nights are mine. What happens in them is no concern of your notes.
I know you think there is nothing to do about it, but you should trust me. I can help you. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the nights.
The nights. They aren't just dark, Doctor. They're heavy.
Heavy like a burden, or heavy like the earth?
Like the earth. When I lie in my bed, the sheets start to feel like wet clay. The walls of my room, they begin to move inward. I can feel the weight of 6 feet of soil pressing down on my chest.
You're back in the tunnels.
I'm back in the dark, listening. In the tunnels, you don't use your eyes. You use your ears. You listen for the pickaxe of the German on the other side of the wall. If he stops digging, it means he's about to blow the charge. It means you're already dead. You just haven't stopped breathing yet.
And in the silence of your room, you're still listening for that pickaxe.
I hear the timber creaking. I hear the air whistling through the cracks. Sometimes. Sometimes I find myself holding my breath, trying to save oxygen. I'm a man who owns half of England, and yet, at 3 a.m., I'm just a boy in a hole, praying the roof holds for one more minute.
That boy was terrified, Thomas. But you aren't that boy anymore. You're safe.
Safe? There is no such thing as safe when you've heard the earth scream. You think a man can just walk out of a hole like that and be whole again? Every time I close my eyes, the tunnel is still there. It's always there, waiting for me to run out of light.
What you're describing, Thomas, the weight of the earth, the phantom sounds, the lungs that refuse to take in air, it has a name.
A name?
In the hospitals, they call it shell shock. But here, between these walls, we call it a post-traumatic stress disorder.
You think giving a name to the dark makes the lights stay on?
No, but it means you're not fighting a ghost. You're fighting a memory that your body thinks is still happening. When you were in those tunnels, your brain made a deal with you. I will keep you terrified. I will keep your heart racing. And in return, I will keep you alive. It was a good deal. Thomas, it saved you.
The war is over. The deal should be off.
That's the problem. Your mind never received the telegram that the armistice was signed. To your nervous system, the roof is always creaking. You are living in a state of permanent high alert. That is why you drink, why you gamble, why you seek out danger in your business, because the only time you feel normal is when the outside world is as chaotic as the world inside your head.
So you're saying I create wars because I don't know how to live in the peace?
I'm saying you are trying to outrun the tunnel by building an empire on top of it. But no matter how many bricks you lay, the soil underneath is still shifting. You suffer from a soul that is exhausted from being a soldier when there is no one left to fight but yourself.
An exhausted soul. People in Birmingham think I'm a king, Doctor. If I told them I was just a tired man afraid of the silence, the crown would fall off pretty quickly.
You don't have to tell Birmingham. You only have to tell this room. You need to heal.
You talk of healing. I've seen medics at the front try to heal men who shook by giving them electric shocks or calling them cowards. What is your method? Just pretty words?
I'm not going to ask you to forget, Thomas. Forgetting is impossible for a man with a memory like yours. The goal isn't to erase the tunnel, it is to disarm it. Right now, your trauma is a booby trap with the tripwire pulled tight. To heal this post-traumatic response, we have to train your body to understand that the present is not a threat.
And how do you train a wolf not to bite when he feels the steel close by?
Through controlled exposure, we have to go back into those tunnels inside this room, where you hold the command, not the enemy. You need to learn to observe the memory without your lungs seizing up. It's about grounding. When you feel the ground giving way, you find what is real. The feel of your watch, the taste of the tobacco, the weight of your feet on the London floor. You have to teach your nervous system that the sound you hear is only an echo, not a real shovel. If we can separate the memory from the physical reaction, the tunnel will lose its weight. It will stop suffocating you. It will simply become a part of your map, not the place where you live. It will be hard, Thomas. I won't lie to you. Reviving these moments, walking back into that dark, will be the most difficult battle you've faced since the war itself. It will feel like the roof is falling all over again. But I promise you this, if we do the work, if we normalize these memories instead of running from them, they will eventually settle. They will stay as memories stagnant and still instead of living, breathing wounds. They won't hurt like this forever.
The exit is usually behind a brick wall, Doctor. But for today, I'll take your tools.
We'll find a way to light it, Thomas. Next Tuesday, 4 p.m.
Next Tuesday.